I love board games. But here's the problem. Whenever I tell someone that I like board games, they usually raise an eyebrow and give me this look like, oh, board games. And I know exactly what they're thinking. They're thinking that I'm obsessed with Monopoly and Risk. No, those are lame board games. Board games I like, I hesitate to call strategy board games because when I say that I like strategy board games, most people think, that it's going to be a 6-hour game of Risk. The ones I like are not like that. They're short. Most of them play somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 minutes to an hour. I have a few that are more complex, take somewhere in the 1 to 2 hour range. But for the most part, they're quick games, yet highly strategic. There's an entire genre of board games that have been opening up the last 10 to 15 years. It kind of started with the first release of Settlers of Catan in 1996, and it's slowly been getting better and better, the games available out there. Most of these games you can't buy in a regular store. Although recently Target has opened up what they call a strategy section, board game section, and they carry Settlers of Catan, Ticket to Ride, Pandemic, some of the more well-known Euro games. Most people that I introduce to these board games, they raise an eyebrow at first. In fact, one of my friends said, I asked him if he likes board games, and he said, yeah, only when I'm bored. And I laughed and just said, okay, well, you come try them out. You can't knock them till you try them. And after I introduced him to a few, he was hooked, and he got the board game bug. So what I'm trying to do is spread awareness of these board games. These board games are awesome. And we live in a world where everyone lives on their technology and their devices, and it's destroying America, and it's destroying society. People sit around at dinner, table of 4, all 4 people sitting there on their cell phones. So one of the main reasons I like board games is it forces human interaction. There's nothing like sitting down at a table with your family or your friends and playing a board game, looking them in the eye, trying to understand what their next move is, where they're going, what they're doing, and trying to figure out a strategy to beat your friends at a board game. Although the older I get, the less it is about winning. Of course, everyone loves to be successful at things. And I'll be honest, I like to win when I play board games. But if I don't win, I don't get mad anymore. I used to get pretty mad. I was so competitive. And I still am competitive. But if I don't win, it's more about the experience of the board game. I like sitting down with friends, having a drink, playing a board game, and just relaxing for the night. It's a great way to spend the night. It's way better than sitting on your devices, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, whatever social media platform you use. It's kind of antisocial in my opinion. It's not really being social. Sitting down at a board game and talking with people and interacting with people, that's true social interaction. And America is lacking that nowadays. And we need to get back to the basics where people develop deep relationships with friends and they talk to one another. They don't just post comments on a picture. And that's not to say that there's a place for social media. I think social media is good. You live out of state, your family can keep up with you. They can watch your videos or look at your pictures that you post. I think that's great. But there's a time and a place for everything. And society is going down the toilet when it comes to social interaction. This younger generation, they don't know how to socially interact with people. It's interesting because I work at a job where I'm in front of a computer pretty much all day long, and I live, eat, and breathe technology. I love it. In fact, I have a YouTube channel for all my techie stuff and a blog where I post techie solutions. That's my life. That's what helps pay the bills. But at the end of the day, when I'm done with work, I don't want to sit in front of the TV all night. I don't want to sit on my phone all night or on my computer browsing Facebook. I have a love-hate relationship with technology. I love how it makes our lives easier. I'm always trying to think of technology hacks ways to automate my life and make life easier. But it destroys human life when you start putting technology above human relationships. And this is not just board games, although I think board games are a great way to get to know people. And to me, it's much more enjoyable than going out and getting wasted with a bunch of friends like a lot of society thinks is the best way to have fun. Sitting down at a table and playing board games is a great way to get to know people better. You get to know your kids better. How many parents nowadays actually know their kids? I see kids who live on their devices. It is so sad. In fact, we made a rule in our family that if we're driving around the neighborhood, you can't get on your phone. We're going to talk to our kids while we're in the car. We're going to get to know them. They're not going to check up on the latest Snapchat that they received while we're driving around the neighborhood. Social media is a form of addiction that runs rampant here in America, and we need to stop it. And my mission is to stop it through the promotion of board games, especially at home within your family, and inviting your friends over to play board games. It's funny, I'm talking about technology ruining America while I'm recording myself talking into technology. Like I said, I have a love-hate relationship with technology. It's great for the things, it's great for me trying to get my message across about technology ruining America, even though I'm doing it on a piece of technology. I think that a lot of it comes down to being able to control yourself and put limits on yourself. And if you want to check up on Facebook, that's fine, but don't let it get in the way of human interaction and developing meaningful relationships with your friends and family.